In this segment, we're going to talk about several things. 1, setting up a PMO. 2, maintaining a PMO. 3, closing a PMO. And 4, the governance of a PMO or some of the management controls that can be put in place in order to ensure delivery of projects and programs. In setting up a PMO, the real key is understanding what the need is. In terms of why you would set up a PMO, first off, the organization may have a need for better organization of their projects and programs. Maybe they have very ad hoc reasons or very ad hoc approaches right now for setting up, for running projects. Maybe they're all done different ways. They don't have a good list of the projects. They don't really have good prioritization. And so we need to be able to set up a PMO to have some sort of structure around that. So the first thing is really about is understanding the need and what sort of problem you're solving. And then from there, I think it'd be really important to define a charter for the organization and what their intended purpose is. And from there, have a leader that could step up and start really being the champion of this organization. And of course, over time, that particular person with the right executive support would be able to recruit people for that organization, and over time then you'd see the establishment of that management organization, and then depending on what its purpose was, it would generally be set up to manage projects and programs and even portfolios for a particular organization. I think there's a lot of commonality between IT projects and even non-IT projects. The important thing is understanding, 1, what the strategic business objectives are, and 2, having that list of projects or programs that would fit inside a portfolio that an organization would have to manage. Now, if the projects are more predictive, which means they're more waterfall based, or even if they're agile based, there's still a list of work. There's still a set of initiatives that need to be carried out in order to deliver on an organization's business objectives. Now, how that work is actually delivered is a little bit different. Again, the waterfall approach versus using more agile and incremental delivery will show different value over time. But generally, the need to define work, the need to align work components to business strategy, and ability to monitor and control that work will always be present. And of course, so the governance pieces become very relevant as well. One of the things that are involved in maintaining a PMO is the ability to manage a set of projects that, 1, that are new, that are coming into the organization, 2, that are currently in flight within the organization, and 3, projects that have been closed within an organization. Now, this is a continuous activity that goes on that helps ensure that the organization is constantly delivering on the various business objectives. Now, there's also the need for career development for practitioners. So in terms of maintaining a PMO, there's also maintaining the staff that work within the PMO and ensuring that they have proper career growth and development as well. A third piece is the ability to manage organizational change. A lot of these initiatives that the PMOs are undertaking are going to have impact not only within the organization, but also potentially externally on the market. And so a PMO can work with various organizations within the company to ensure that the changes are communicated in an effective way is to help support the delivery of the intended benefits. There's probably some specific, unique areas in terms of maintaining IT projects. In a general sense, the projects, again, are probably carried out a little differently. So if, for example, you have an IT organization that's doing projects in a little more agile fashion, though PMO should be aligned to support agile in that particular way. For example, the governance should be aligned with an agile delivery model, not be using a waterfall model. Or if the IT organization is in a hybrid mode, having some sort of governance that supports both waterfall and agile methodologies or mixed agile methodologies is really important as well. But ultimately, at the end of the day, organizations that manage projects really have to be responsible for, one, identifying the work and making sure that intake is happening. Two, making sure that the work that they are carrying out is aligned to the relevant business strategies. And three, that is delivered in a controlled way, and having the proper metrics and governance in place in order to ensure that those initiatives are delivered on time, on budget, according to the scope that's been agreed to, and of course, having the right business outcome. Strategies for closing a PMO is really no different than winding down an organization or a project or a program. In any sense, making sure that its mission has been accomplished. Having a good checklist is really helpful to kind of identify what the intended outcome for that particular organization should look like. And if the PMO was set up for maybe a limited duration, ensuring that its purpose was fulfilled, basically the mission was fulfilled of that particular temporary PMO, and then ensuring that the staff are adjourned and are going to the right organizations as a result, and any financial audits or anything else that has to be completed just to make sure that everything's kind of closed out is important. And I think also a good lessons learned from that organization would be really critical as well. So what did the organization do right? How could it improve in the future? Any actions that could be taken for the next time you set up a PMO? Continuous improvement's also really important. And just because the PMO was closed doesn't mean that that's a negative thing. That, like we said earlier, the intent could be a limited duration PMO to maybe develop some new systems, to create some integration capabilities, and really have our center of excellence for the people that are working on those projects and programs. And then once those projects and programs have been completed and the business objectives have been delivered, it's time to kind of close the PMO and wind it down just like any other project or program. I've worked with a lot of different PMOs throughout my career, and PMOs can be really beneficial in that they can provide a lot of support to you as a project manager and to other project managers that are attempting to carry out work within various organizations. There's a lot of work that's cross-functional, that has a lot of organizational impact, and a PMO can help kind of manage the organizational change management, as well as help you manage change to scope that may come in from various stakeholders. PMO can be kind of centered at that point to be able to provide really that value to you at the project or program level. They can also help identify new work that's going to come in, get you assignments into new work, as well as then provide career development from a PM standpoint. So there have been times I want to develop my career and I want to go from project management to program management, or maybe work in a portfolio management scenario. Within the PMO, they a lot of times can provide that career development opportunity too. So it's not always just managing the projects and doing the day-to-day work. It can also be from a career development standpoint as well.